Speaker will be Itika Gupta from Daily Dump, who will talk to us about home waste management.
He's really tired, so I'll try to keep it as short as possible, but it's also something, it's an extension of what Marvin just talked about. It's something that we've been seeing, talking about, experiencing day in, day out, so I think we can kind of hold in another 10 minutes on this. We all believe India is dirty right now, or Bangalore to be specific since we're living here. Yes, no? Yes. Everybody believes Bangalore is dirty right now? So we all want a Swachh Bharat. Thankfully, our Prime Minister has also taken up waste as an important issue to talk about. And he says we all need to work towards a Swachh Bharat. But in a one-liner, if I was to ask you, what is making India dirty? What's the reason for India being dirty? We. You'll expand on that? Why? How am I making India dirty?
We don't want to follow. We want to throw the garbage. We want to throw the garbage. Somebody wants to clean. We don't want to clean.
I don't want to clean up my own garbage. Somebody else has to clean up my garbage. Any other reason of why we are making India dirty or something else making India dirty? We don't have the right attitude. Towards our waste. Okay. The discipline of finding a dustbin and putting something in a dustbin. So, okay. There's no penalty on not throwing something, on the roads and things. Okay, perfect. So Singapore, yeah, that's one very, very common example that comes in when we talk about waste. So, Daily Dump's answer to this question, and now, thankfully to the radio and the BBMP and the crisis with the landfills, we all agree that if we all keep dumping all our waste into one garbage bag, imagining that it's going to be out of sight and out of mind and it will go away somewhere hidden out of my eyes, the problem will be solved. The reality is in front of us. The problem is not going to be solved. Land is extremely expensive. How far from the city are we going to go to find more land to dump, right? Mandur is a very, very common example, and I'm really glad it happened because that finally brought to the forefront of what happens to all the waste that I produce every day. It's a very, very common sight to have garbage bag like that in the house right now. How many of you use a garbage bag in your house? How many of your dustbins are lined up with a garbage bag? Honestly, it's okay. I won't penalize you. Most of us, right? It's a norm in the city. But how many of you remember using it about 5 years ago? I don't. My mother still cleans up her dustbin every single day. These garbage bags were not a part of our cycle, not a part of our routine. Under the name of convenience and simplicity, we just lined it up. We didn't have to clean up the bin anymore. And everything and anything fed into it. I never had to look at it. I tied it up and off it went somewhere, right? So that's where the problem begins. Until and unless I do something about this, I can't contribute into the waste problem at all. Even if I go and put my waste into a dustbin, the dustbin has to go somewhere. And that somewhere is just going to be another landfill. It's somebody else's backyard. And one day we'll run out of all of that, right? So before I proceed with this, I'll just quickly run through a film. I hope the audio is okay. If you can show the film and I'll come back to the presentation.
Talk about waste, segregation, composting. And remember, be nice.
Okay.
Okay guys, ready? Silence, action!
Hello. Hi. Look at this unholy mess. What is wrong with you people? How can you tolerate this? How can you create this? How can you do this? Firstly, do you segregate your waste? Oh wait, do you even know what segregation is? It's not mixing your organic waste with everything else. It's separating your wet waste and your dry waste. If you separate your waste, you're fine. You're a good person and I love you. You can stop watching this video. This is for the others who don't. You, the one who doesn't separate your waste. I'm sure you feel that even if you do it, it's not going to make a difference. Or maybe you just couldn't care less. Or maybe you read in the papers that there's a cool machine that'll take care of all this and make this all into electricity, so no need to worry, right? This is where you're expecting me to say that you're wrong. But I am not going to say that. You're a moron, an imbecile, an idiot, a blot on humanity! I'm sure you're the types who have a dustbin, line the dustbin with a plastic bag, and then chuck anything and everything inside it. Then you tie it up and throw it somewhere, anywhere outside. And now we're running out of space to dump all this rubbish, and no one can separate it into useful piles when it's that much of a mess. And this is the mess that you create, you lazy, inconsiderate. Oops. Cut!
What are you doing, Kamba?
Can you delete this take? I'll start again. I'll be nice, I swear.
So that was the angry Kamba talking about the problem of waste and what we're doing with it. Coming back to the presentation, if we actually dissect our waste, if we actually break up our waste, it actually comes into these four broad categories. More than 50% of an Indian household's waste is actually nothing but food. We love food. We love cooking food. We are used to cooking food for each meal. We're still not in this Western habit of having a lot of frozen food, having food that's very packaged. We still have our curries and dals and sambar and rice, right? So more than 50% of your waste actually accounts for all of that food. It may be peels, it may be bones, it may be cooked food, rice, atta, everything. Then there's this other 20% which is recyclable. So the dry waste collection centers that Marvin was talking about, those are the spaces that can actually accommodate all of that. Plastic, paper, metal, glass. But the moment I mix all of this with sambar and rice, nobody's going to take the pain of pulling out that bottle that could otherwise be recycled, right? So there's a 20% of that. Then there's another 10%, this blue section that you see here, which is mainly toxic waste that needs to be disposed safely. A big portion of that toxic waste is electronic waste, which Achitra in the morning was talking about. Your wires, batteries, cell phones, mobile phones, washing machines, everything, all those electrical appliances can be recycled, but only by designated vendors who know how to process and separate each of those parts. Then there's this last section where it says landfill, which is essentially what we call reject waste. There is some portion of your waste that cannot be composted, that cannot be recycled. Technically, the government should be putting all our Swachh Bharat tax money into actually handling that 10%. Everything else could be taken care of by private vendors, by not-for-profits, and a part of the government itself. But that need not go to the landfill at all. So we at Daily Dump said, our respected Prime Minister said, okay, let us all promise to say, I'm going to put 2 hours a week or 8 hours a month into cleaning up my country or my city. So we actually broke it down. What does it take to really put in those 2 hours and genuinely contribute to the problem of waste in this country? Step 1 is to segregate your waste. There are multiple simple ways of learning how to segregate your waste. How many of you drive? How many of you on the road drive or ride a bicycle or drive a car? Almost everybody. You all understand signals? You know what red means? You know what green means? It's as simple as that. There is a citizen group called 2 bin 1 bag that's been started by citizens, where what they say is they've simplified this process of segregation into a red bin, a green bin, and a bag. Every child will understand. You tell them, give them 5 minutes and they'll get it. The green bin is for food waste. It looks like food. It's green in color. The red bin is for something that's alarming, which is mainly your reject waste, your sanitary waste, diapers, sanitary pads. And the bag is actually for all your dry waste, your paper, your plastic. You don't need a dustbin to store those things if they're actually clean and away from wet waste. So start segregating your waste at home, and we've tested it. It practically takes 3 minutes a day. The next process is to compost organic waste locally. All your wet waste can actually be converted into manure, into organic, healthy manure, which not only gives you vegetables that are free from urea and pesticides, it also makes sure that the soil, which is now dying out because of all the pesticides, it actually replenishes. It actually starts absorbing and retaining moisture. This issue of cities flooding away, this issue of farmer suicide because of less rain, they're actually a problem because the soil stopped absorbing that water, because we've killed its possibility to do that. So if you compost your waste locally, you can do it in your house, you can do it in your community, you can do it in your layout or in your DWCC near you. But the idea is to make sure that all of the wet waste could actually become manure instead of going all the way to the landfill and creating methane there. The third is the disposal of the sanitary waste, which will take you another 2 minutes. This is the only portion that I should technically be giving away to the BBMP instead of that entire black garbage bag that I do. So that's what you'll practically spend about 10 minutes a day in your daily work schedule if you segregate your waste. Right now, with the problem of waste, with the BBMP actually not finding ways of where to dispose it, you're spending probably a lot more than that and actually calling them and saying, please come and clear up the pile near my house. So if we just follow this, we'd probably not need that. On a weekly basis, you'd need to give away this dry waste to your recyclers. It'll take one call or one protocol where a lot of DWCCs actually come driving around with amazing music. Where all you have to do is keep your dry waste. They'll be playing the IPL tunes and some nice songs behind. So that'll pull you out of your house. Just go give them your dry waste and there it goes for recycling. The other thing is to put in another 20 minutes if you could to infect 5 more people to start doing the segregation. And once I start doing that, once a month I can dispose all my e-waste. Again, either with the dry waste centers or there are a lot of people, a lot of vendors, especially in Bangalore, who actually collect your electronic waste. They'll come to your community, they'll come to common centers. Daily Dump's office in Indiranagar is a center where you can drop off your e-waste. So you just drop off your e-waste at those centers once a month and off you go. In 2 hours, you've actually created significant impact in cleaning up the country. We had also created a 7-point agenda for Mr. Modi to see what he could do to clean up the country, but I'll skip that. Coming back to composting, I'll just run through another video and we can talk about the impact there. Till he runs through the video, we're actually a company that was started about 10 years ago, 2006. And
Look at what you've done.
Okay.
I told you not to shout at our audience, our customers.
Excellent question. Why should you do anything at all? Let's look at your garbage. Firstly, 60% of this garbage is organic, so that much need not be thrown out if you compost at home. Secondly, 60% of this organic waste is water. So when you mix it with plastic or sanitary waste, the water becomes toxic. It seeps into soil and water bodies, contaminating them. Thirdly, when there's curry mixed with paper or battery acid mixed with kitchen waste, it's very tough to separate things for recycling or composting. So do you see? So separate. Once you do that, I do all the composting work. Step 1, you just need to bring me home. You keep me in the balcony or garden. Step 2, you dump your organic waste in me. Step 3, add a layer of this magic powder. This is a new product, remixed powder that we've developed. It's organic culture mixed with other materials that absorb water and removes all the bad smell. In 40 to 60 days, the compost is done. Use it. That's it. No stirring, no time spent, and no smell. Seriously, that's it. It's that simple. We've made it that simple with this new way of composting. Now, do you have any excuses? So go. Go to this site. You buy me and start. Do it now. We even come in different shapes and sizes, so take your pick. Do it! Or don't do anything. Just sit there and complain about the government and the politicians and your
Come on,
corporate and your
where do you think you're
prime minister. Do you think they're going to do anything about it? No, they're not going to do a thing. These people are hopeless.
I think I need to.
So the thumb line is our expertise lies in the area of composting, and our idea is to pretty much democratize your waste, to get you to take charge of your own waste, not throw that 60% of the waste that you're producing in form of food out at all. In your house, in your community, in simple processes, compost it out, use that manure up, grow your own greens, or even give it away to farmers. We're developing a whole channel now of actually carting away all the compost that our customers produce into farmer communities that actually need it. That's a range of products that have been designed at Daily Dump. They're all made in India, made for India. This first range that you see of terracotta composters, these are composters that we started with. The stack of 3 is something that we call the Khamba, the cartoon that you saw. That's our flagship product that we started with about 10 years ago. And the idea of actually working with clay was because we wanted to make something, firstly, that looks beautiful. We wanted waste to be beautiful, to be visible. It shouldn't be something hidden away under my sink in the kitchen. Hence the clay. Also, clay as a material is something in which when you produce it, there's practically zero waste. There's no extra byproducts of any kind that will create more waste in the society. So on a fundamental level, it's a great material. For composting, it's almost a substitute of composting in a pit, because it's literally a part of the earth. So clay as a whole keeps it very breathable and smell-free and beautiful. Also, pottery is a craft in India that's there across the country. There are a lot of crafts that are centralized into specific states, but pottery as a whole is there in every part of the country. So we believe that once we actually empower potters to start working on it, the production can be as decentralized as one district finding its own set of composters available right there. Over and above that, we have another range of these community level composters. The Aga that you see over there is something we launched about a year and a half ago, and it's doing wonders in the market right now with companies and apartments composting. But the idea is to find a way in which you can all take charge of your waste, start segregating. The wet waste which may lie in the house and nobody may come to collect it can actually be taken care of, and then compost it and use up all of that manure. That's where you reach out to us. We're there in Indiranagar. Our website's up there. We're very active with social media. Start with segregation from today if possible. And then once you start doing that, composting is just a very obvious next step. Thank you.